Homo economics. I'm not here this evening representing business as Homo economicus, where economic values seem to override every other human value. I'm not here believing that the sole purpose of business is to maximize profits, and that one's entire mission on earth is to keep the economy vibrant. I am not here as a consumer. I am at foremost a citizen and a human being. And I am here tonight championing the rise of the social entrepreneur and businesses that have a social agenda. And yes, I do emphatically believe that business can deliver social change, and being good is good for business. It has in the past. Just take a look at them. You don't have to look any further than the Quakers, who have let their lives speak to building businesses that truly serve the communities. These independent entrepreneurs saw no conflict whatsoever between an interest in trade and the call to service. Nothing. They said they believed that the model of business practice that they adhered to, whether they were small tradesmen or very large major industrialists, offer a simple but profound example to any one of us who hope to run an ethical business and a profitable business today. They organize it, and I found them so exciting. They organized their workplace as an expression of the way they conducted their lives, treating everybody as equals, whether they were employees, whether they were customers, or whether they were business associates. And when you have a look at the founding principles of the Quakers, where were they? Greenpeace, Amnesty, Oxfam, as social collectives. And whether it can, no, I know they don't have it now, but Cadbury, Schweppes, Albright and Wilson, Friends Provident. I mean, so many of these I felt were the founding principles from which when I got older and when I started to make the Body Shop a tad more successful, were my guiding light. Generations of these business people prospered without compromising the best interests of their customers, letting their lives speak by making the supply of goods and services a true contribution to the community. And it was thinking like this that shaped and gave credibility to a handful of progressive businesses that came out of the 80s, with the emergence of businesses like The Body Shop, like Ben & Jerry's, like Patagonia in America, all of whom made a bold attempt to put idealism back onto the business agenda. And it continues, and it continues, and it continues. Over the last 25 years, I have seen a growing number of companies that have done much to re-legitimize the behavior of business, because these businesses are not solely profit seekers. They have an ideology that incorporates thoughtfulness, reflection, and responsibility. And paradoxically, they have shaped the business leaders who have become some of the fiercest critics of the corporate behavior. In terms of influence, you can forget the church. You can forget government. You can forget politics. There is no more powerful institution in our society at this present moment than business. And that is why I believe it now has to have a moral agenda, and it has to have a moral leadership. So my task this evening is simply this. I want to share my ideas on how I developed a sense of purpose within the workplace, how I proved that The Body Shop, you could make a profit and you could at the same time make a positive contribution to the community. You could trade on a global scale, you could open up 100 stores a year and still stick your neck out and campaign for human rights. You can develop the human spirit within the workplace as well as developing the products. I promised this evening to hold your attention by a series of great slides. Whilst I share these ideas, I will offer you advice and warn you of the pitfalls, some of which I took, that you may well encounter along the way. And if I come here today and there's no trouble tomorrow, I haven't done my job. But first, let me praise you, the entrepreneurial leaders here, because that is what many of you are. Like it or not, you're part of this new wave of energetic, creative, social enterprises who are building organizations that are strategic, that are fast-moving, and are really sexy. Nothing in the universe is immune to evolution, least of all humans. And as your consciousness increases, therefore your values will change and your experiences will make sure that happens. You seem to be rejecting all the shackles of a closed business system, thinking, and instead shaping this explosion of independent, creative social enterprises, the likes of which the world has never seen before. And I praise you for that. Entrepreneurs like you live to create business products and services of value to society, and the ones I'm truly excited about are coming to the business scene carrying with them a new set of values. They also possess within them a deep sense of rightness, like the Quakers had, to be socially responsible, to honor the human spirit, to do the right thing for everyone they impact. This is human progress. Visionary individuals have always led human progress in business. As visionaries, you see things other people don't see, and in truth, you're probably more a social change agent than you are a business person, because making a difference is more important to you than making a fortune. You are allowing a calling. You are following a calling, not just a career, and you're doing it with a passion, and in truth, you have no choice. You are the first to question any of those who justify unethical behavior in the guise of good business. You are forging partnerships with other progressive businesses, academic institutions, and most importantly, the non-government organizations. We all know that business isn't found in nature. It isn't deemed by God or the gods or both. It's created by men and women, and therefore it can be changed. Thus, you are, as entrepreneurs, living in a world entirely made of your own imagination, of your own making. Nothing except the limits to your thinking is going to prevent you from making the world a better place if the present one simply doesn't engage you.